Boom. Just like that. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk, guys, because with what we just witnessed in the past couple days, if you think knowing that we have a panel series on this channel and we're not gonna make a panel, you're sadly mistaken because that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. Okay, it's because you guys are trying to rewrite history, and we're not gonna allow it.
No,
So,
Cannot.
not at all.
facts. So, as you can see, we got an open panel today, guys. You might be seeing some new faces around here. You might be seeing some familiar faces jump in. But right now, this is what we got. Ladies and gentlemen, you tapped in with the Consumer Group Chat. Shout out to the panelists. All right, I ain't got no applause button right now. But it's all good. We're going to go ahead and introduce everybody. To my right, yeah, we got J-Tom, ladies and gentlemen, one of the illest on YouTube. Round of applause for J-Tom.
Let's go.
The OG.
Nah,
Right?
yeah. Stop that shit, bro. just stop.
I'm dead. All right. Under me, the father figure himself. All right. The man with the ace up his sleeve.
Everywhere.
Okay.
And on his wall.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I slapped the wall.
It's everywhere.
King Hammer in this panel. What's good? What's good?
The ace up your sleeve, the hip hop enthusiast. You already know, hit that like button. Support is free.
Go.
So, yeah, support is free, y'all. Just hit that like button. And if you have the option, make sure you hype it too.
Facts.
And finally, I know this man has a lot to say. His heart has been beaten heavy after what he's heard. He has rage, even though he looks calm right now. But he gonna talk. Ladies and gentlemen, we got NK up in here. What's good, bro?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Get to it, man. I want to say it, bro.
Man. So we got uppercase J and lowercase J trying to start some ish with the consumer base. We're not having it. We're not having it. So let's go ahead and dive in. There is an angle that I've noticed from both conversations that we're definitely going to talk about first before we get into the regular of the convos. Something new that I have noticed is that when it comes to each interview, I find it funny how both of them have something to say about culture, respectively. And I don't like the negativity behind it because I find it funny how both of them have it confused. I've explained it on this channel before, but before we get into my explanation, I want to open it up to the panel. For anybody, just like literally just jump in. Like, what do you think about that alone? About them just bringing up the culture in that kind of way? Don't be shy now.
Don't be shy now.
You want to give them like 2 minutes, see if anybody wants to pop in?
No,
Not
even if you're in Vegas, just pop in just for a little bit,
Yeah.
Fame, if you want to just hit the link in the Discord.
Fame,
and
Zoe,
you can pop in.
Koala, anybody.
Koala, if y'all want to come and share your thoughts, just pop
you
in.
Find it. But with J. Cole saying F the culture and then Jay-Z talking about, well, the points that he was making is alluding to rewriting the culture. I don't like the negativity behind both sides because one side wants it demolished to be rebuilt as something else, and the other side is more in sense of they just want to change and pull apart different aspects of it to mold it into a better shape to be commercialized. And this is something you cannot commercialize. This has been going on for a multitude of years of how they want to change the narrative when it comes to this thing that built all of us. it's like a universal algorithm in a sense when it comes to culture, when it comes to hip hop culture. You can't change this. It's always going to be the same. No matter how hard you try to pull apart this thing. And you have this Jay and you got that Jay, both out here saying something that might get the people talking on Twitter. And we're going to talk about that in a sec. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people already know my thoughts when it comes to that. Right? But Jay Tom, what you got to say about it, man?
First of all, I am disappointed in what Jay-Z had to say. As somebody who grew up listening to Jay-Z and somebody that grew up listening to, hip hop, I didn't enjoy the last part of what he said. It was a good interview, but it was just the last part where he was talking about the 4 pillars and how they were basically like, it's not, you could take them out of hip hop because b-boying is now part of the Olympics, and graffiti is done by Basquiat, and he thinks that battles shouldn't be a part of hip hop. Well, what happens if you take away DJing? DJs are a huge part of the culture. They're a huge part of hip hop. If you take away DJing, who's gonna make producers are DJs in a sense. You have to know how to mix in order to be a DJ. If you're going to take away DJing, you're taking away the producer. If you take away the producer, who's gonna make the beats? If you take away graffiti is an art. That's part of hip hop. It's part of the pillars that started hip hop. So if you take away graffiti, you're taking away part of the art. You're taking away part of the enjoyment of it. If you take away dancing from hip hop, what do you have then? You take away those 4 things, emceeing is the last thing. You take away the 4 things, what do you have? You don't have shit. You just have zombie music, as I'm gonna call it. You're gonna have zombie music. Acapella. Who's gonna enjoy that shit? Not me. I enjoy a good acapella song every now and then, but if it's an acapella song that has no feeling or soul to it, then what the fuck is it? That's it. That's all I have to say. That's what I didn't enjoy from Jay-Z debacle or whatever the fuck he said.
What you got, King Hammer?
So Jay had a very good perspective that I appreciated until he wanted to try to. What up, Fame?
What's good, Fame?
Hey, what it do?
What's up? Real quick, what was I saying? No, Jay had a really good perspective on how he wanted to address the Kendrick and Drake beef and all other things, except for wanting to get rid of beef in today's day and age because of social media and the amount of exposure it has to the world. This dude literally suffered only one blemish. He only has one blemish on his career, and that was the beef with Nas. So therefore, I can't really sit there and credit him for saying like, oh yeah, we should take beef out of the pillars of hip hop for this day and age, because it gets ugly with the kids and the wife being involved, when he has a song called Super Ugly where it is very super ugly, where he literally says that he did something on baby's car seat, and I would X out. I would Dodie 6 that dude up out of here and make sure.
Dodie 6 is crazy.
I would Dodie 6 that dude up out of here. I would cut him, make sure that he's out of the game for good because of what he said on Super Ugly. So he doesn't really have he does not have the right to say that battles don't belong here because they get too personal, because he got too personal with Nas and his baby moms. I get it.
Right.
You lost. But what's not about to happen is you wanting to take away one of the founding pillars of hip hop, graffiti, DJing, battling, and breakdancing. You cannot take away one of those four pillars that originally started this very wide, multicultural and worldwide music genre just because things got ugly for a second. And the only person that's making it uglier is the loser right now, and that's Drake. All his antics, all his playing the victim and all that, that can't all be justified. It just can't. So personally, he's got to leave that out. The rest of the interview was a W, though. I mean, he spoke. Whenever Jay speaks, we listen because look at where he's at. He even said it himself. I'm Jay-Z. What do I got to worry about taking down somebody else for? They're doing it themselves. That I wholeheartedly agree with. That's my take on just that subject.
All right, before we get to NK, bro, we got I Got Fame in the building, bro.
What to do, fam? What to do?
What's popping, bro? How you feel?
What it is.
What's
What
good,
to do,
man?
fame?
What to do, man? Man, I'm seeing a lot of people getting upset with what Jay-Z said, but we have to really. I've seen the interview a few times, and I was listening very close to what exactly he was saying, and I think he was actually posing a question, and he was saying, "I don't know if we're in the state." He doesn't know. He was asking himself a question because he was asking, "Can we handle beefing nowadays?" And although knee-jerk reaction, I didn't agree with even the question that he was asking because, like King Hammer says, this is part of a pillar in hip hop, right? But what I think Jay was trying to do is Jay was trying to have us reflect on, can we handle these beefs without it getting parasocial? Because look what this beef, look at all beefs have shown. I'm guilty of it too. Back when it was Game and 50 Cent, I almost got a G You Not tattoo.
That's crazy.
I'm serious. Well, it became so serious that here in the West Coast, I'm like, man, if I ever see 50 Cent, I better not have a blicky on me because it was that serious. When it's a rap beef, they pieced it up in the club and then they beefed again. So can we handle that parasocial? And especially nowadays where the parasocial activity has grown tenfold. So that's where I kind of get what I took from the interview.
Yeah, NK, what you got?
Where do I begin, man? Well, I think I'll say this when it comes to what Jay-Z said, I think one thing I'll say is I wasn't surprised by any of it whatsoever, because over the past 5 to 10 years, anytime Jay-Z has had interviews, he's continuously said things that have revealed to me that he has no idea what he's talking about sometimes. For example, I remember when he got interviewed by, I think it was like DJ Khaled, like it was like a Twitter space. This was like some years ago, like maybe within 4 years ago or so. And he said something along the lines of, he said, "Oh, like back in the day, they used to call us niggas, and now they call us words like capitalist and things like that, because people have critiqued him, right, for his different like ventures, right, when it comes to like his business acumen and whatnot." And I feel like, to me, honestly, at that was one of the moments for me where I really truly realized how much I don't like Jay-Z as a person. I mean, in terms of like as an MC, obviously he's done some great things in hip hop. historically. He has some albums I like, Black Album, blah 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 blah. However, in terms of like what drives him to do what he does and so on and so forth, I feel like it's very self-interested a lot of the time, and it's very money oriented. Everything he does is about making as much money as possible, and I think what we're seeing right now is an extension of that, because I think it's not surprising. Okay, let me say this first. Whatever accusations that were on him last year, we all remember what those were, right? About him potential, like allegedly doing something to a minor years ago, right? Now, the reason I'm bringing that up isn't to say whether he did it or not. I don't know. I wasn't there. The point I'm bringing up is to say it's not surprising that he's taking this position on battling, given the kind of accusations that were on Drake through the battle, right?
Right.
To me, that's not shocking at all. That now he's taking this position of, oh well, I don't think battling should be part of hip hop in general because these types of accusations get thrown around, right? I feel like he's very self-interested in having this position now that these things are coming up. Not only with Cole, sorry, not Cole, not only with Drake, but also with Diddy, who was somebody that he was closely aligned with, as far as we know, right? His estate has even come out saying, "Oh, we're not we're Diddy and Jay were never friends. They were just business partners." Meanwhile, you can find a multitude of interviews where they call each other friends, or literally his kids knew Diddy. You know what I mean? Like, if I have coworkers and I had kids, for the most part, most of them aren't going to be meeting my kids. You know what I mean? Generally speaking, generally speaking, there might be a one-off instance for some odd reason, but generally speaking, no. But the point, so that's why I'm bringing that up. So I feel like the only reason he really has this position is because he's trying to defend himself. Even though in this interview he's talking about, oh, I'm on the offensive now and blah 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 blah. I think that's all BS. He's still on the defensive because he's still trying to clean up or clear up his image, in sight of all of the accusations that have come up, not only on him but on Drake, which is also connected on a lot of accusations that have been going on within the celebrity sphere within the past few years tied to Epstein and blah 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 blah. So I feel like this is just an attempt to avoid people getting accused of things in fear that they might get caught doing something that they shouldn't be doing. That's my opinion on that. Now, in terms of battling as it's tied to hip hop, as you know, the others have mentioned, I think, like, you know, battling has a role in hip hop, right? And it's not just to exacerbate conflict. I would argue that battling is part of hip hop to mitigate conflict, right? Because even people can say what they want about, oh, how Drake fans responded or how Kendrick fans responded to the beef. What has happened? No one's gotten killed. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy has really happened, right? I feel like it's kind of like a cathartic thing for battles to happen because conflict is part of life, right? So I think hip hop gives people an outlet a lot of the time to be able to express those things without things having to go too far a lot of the time. Now, that doesn't mean there hasn't been instances where they have gone too far. Of course, there have been. However, that's usually seen as a negative, right? In hip hop, that's not seen as something we support in hip hop. That's seen as, okay, yeah, they probably didn't need to take it that far. Didn't need to take it that far, unless it was like justified for some reason, right? If I walk outside and someone slaps me, you know what I mean, I might have to do something. But generally speaking,
Facts.
you get what I'm saying. But anyways, that's those are my preliminary thoughts on this topic.
Well,
Hey, before we continue, y'all hit that like button, man. Hey,
sir.
it's very important to the creators, to all the creators in here. It's very important that you hit that like button. It gives more exposure to this conversation that we're having. So go ahead, slap the like button, and subscribe too. You know,
Facts.
your boy Flex Your Mind over here, you know, he just broke out 5,000. Where you at now, man?
Well, 5.6.
5.6. There you go.
I'm not counting though, you know.
So yeah, man,
Nah, I
just
appreciate
go
it, man.
ahead and sub up. You know, he has a really good channel, and he didn't introduce himself, so you know he's the guy in the
I
small
usually don't.
box.
I usually don't. I'm just a guy, bro. Like, it's not even like, like yo, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just a dude. Like
He's a guy in the small box, and you know when we're in these discussions, we're also in the small box. So
yo, come here.
Nah, what kills me is when he's like, you. I'm like, oh, shit.
I've been wanting to do that. You right here in the small box.
Really killing it every time. I'm just like, damn, he really got me. Like, he really pointed me out. Nah, my neighbor came and told me, they were like, hey, your Nissan's, your lights is on. I'm like, oh, shit. Had to go turn off my lights. That was my bad.
Now, sometimes when you go like this, Flex, I'm like, oh, shit. Oh,
I was rushing back from the store too fast.
this motherfucker just hit me. What the fuck?
Oh, shit. I'm just trying to grab y'all attention, man. That's it.
But if I had to say anything, and y'all know, I do not play with this right here.
Oh, damn.
That is what I got from. I had to go find this card. Like I was finding it like while we were all talking. I do not play this card ever, but this card is being played today, and there is two of them. I don't know where the other one is, but I should have brought both out because all I'm seeing from this past week was Little Joker and Big Joker. Jokers in my book, in the way that I see things, I mean, the way that I interpret things when it comes down to, because Flex might be in the small box. J Tom is big cooling with the U2 Sabes community. Me, I run the spades table of hip hop. And these two are jokers. And NK is over there making sure he's watching from the distance with the eagle eye, making sure that, hey, if you even dare lie, I can sense that heartbeat.
No, that man over there cheating.
that man over there making sure. He's like, look, he about to play the again. I never seen two aces of spades in one deck. Might want to check it. No, jokers in my book, they don't take anything seriously. And the thing is that they're not taking hip hop seriously right now because you can't be throwing around the word culture in two different interviews. And just because Kendrick and before Kendrick had started using the word culture, when have you heard the word culture since?
That's a strong question.
That's a good
question. Before Kendrick has said it,
that is a good question.
Before Kendrick has said it in Euphoria, when were we worried about the culture?
That's a good question, man. It was like a wake up call in a sense.
Right. It was because the last time that we even heard culture was back in 2015 when T-Pab came out. And unfortunately, why is it only taking Kendrick to revitalize what hip hop is when Jay-Z been around this whole time? When Nas been around this whole time? Nas has always been spreading the message, but everybody's like, it's Nas. He's just going to say the same thing in every track, just differently, and it's going to be hard. Like, you're not expecting him to sit there and tackle controversial issues. He might have controversial bars, but that's about the lasting power that it has. Trust me, Nas is my number one, but I know how to call a spade a spade. Nas is just, he's not going to sit there and be all controversial with it. He's just gonna do what he does. He makes a good amount of money off of his hobby, which we are, which we all aspire to do. So, W man. But Kendrick is over here sending the message, and nowadays everybody's trying to capitalize off that message. So look at these two that we just watched. We got J. Cole over here capitalizing on not only his apology, just to get some rapport with sensible men like us, but also to validate his credibility to the game so that he doesn't lose the legacy that he built up for the last 15 to almost 20 years. He doesn't want to lose all that, which I understand. However, you gotta stand 10 toes. You can't call yourself the king of this rap thing and not be battle tested. And battle is necessary within the culture, regardless of what anybody has to say about it, because you got to be seen. No one respects um, uh, a dude that says I'm the hardest man around with no scars.
Mm.
Like, what do you got to show for it? Did you got a bullet wound? You got some scrapes, some burns, anything? No, he doesn't. J. Cole is a clean slate. The only thing that he's ever done was body Lil Pump, and come on,
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
that's like Eminem going against Kodak.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lil Pump body, Lil Pump.
exactly. So at the end of the day, both of these two are hypocrites, and they are not taking it seriously when they are supposed to be the people that a lot of other people who have dedicated almost cult-like fan bases follow blindly. And I love Jay-Z. Don't get me wrong. One of the first hip-hop songs I ever uh, uh, remembered completely, like I'm trying to remember the word, recited, was Friend or Foe. Me and my pops would do that song in the car all the time from Reasonable Doubt. That is my first ever hip hop song that I've ever recited. And I hold Jay-Z to a high regard, just the same place as Nas. The only problem is that his character has been questionable multiple times, where Nas hasn't. That's what puts him at the number one for me. But Kendrick, he's in my top five, but he's got a Wu-Tang member, Eminem, and Redman to battle for to get a little higher.
Right.
Hey,
The Wu-Tang member is Jizza. I don't know if y'all know, but yeah.
Fire.
When it comes down to it, these two, I have now deemed them in my book as jokers because they're not taking this seriously. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. My bully's here. Let me mute.
all right. So at this point, I feel like I'm gonna do what I do best and just do what I do.
Lex, so what are your thoughts on it?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's start with some information that I learned yesterday from the Culture United from Stat Quo. And that information is funny enough, we should all know this, but like a lot of times we don't think about it.
Right.
Your favorite artist is mad sensitive. Let's start there. Because the biggest problem with hip hop today is social media. Or
Right.
if you want to narrow it down, Twitter. Right? So that alone, like, I know a lot of people heard what I said, but I'm probably going to regurgitate a lot of things that I've been saying. We already know everybody's focused on Twitter. Like, the main hip hop hub, Twitter is their bread and butter. Instagram is like coffee. You know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, looking at Twitter alone, noticing that a lot of these companies, a lot of these labels, a lot of these like artists, they focus on Twitter. They focus on what people say on Twitter, whether if they like their ish or they hate their ish. They pull consumer data from Twitter. They don't go to any other social media app. All right. For a lot of people out there, you could argue and say they might be looking at other social media apps, but the easiest way to pull data from any social media app is Twitter, because those are raw comments, regardless if it's real or fake. That's another problem, because we've been figured out there's a lot of bots on Twitter now, and a lot of them don't live in North America. Funny enough, a lot of these conversations out there started from individuals from a whole other country trying to stir up some ish here with our own hip hop. I find that funny. Let's go a little deeper than that now. So looking at the information I just put out, Now let's look at the artists themselves, because now they're the ones on their phone looking at these comments, looking at this information, looking at what people are saying, whether it's about them or their peers. And this is who they want to please. They want to please these individuals. They want to make sure these individuals are on their side. Or what they do as well is that they say something that's going to start a conversation on here for engagement too. There's a multitude of ways to make money or to build a fan base. And regardless of which way they take, that's the route they want to take. Listen, when it comes to me, I like to go outside the box to get to the solution. So let's go ahead and keep going with that now. At this point, looking at consumer data, looking at consumer behavior, and now looking at Jay-Z and J. Cole, they clearly want to please somebody, and that somebody is the individuals on social media that are out there with the loudest voices, those who are the individuals they want to please or start conversations with. So when we get back into culture, and now we start to assess the different pillars and what general people on Twitter are saying, knowing that these individuals are not educated people, they want to make sure they got them on that side, on their side. You can't really pull consumer data from Instagram because it's a bunch of pictures with a mixed bag of comments. You can't really separate and group them because now you got to look at a picture and look down in the comments to see what you want. You can't. That's not realistic to pull. You have to go to Twitter. Same thing with Facebook. You have to go to Twitter. That's the only way. TikTok, you got to look at videos. So that's the same as Instagram. Twitter is their main hub. All I'm saying is these sensitive artists, these sensitive individuals out there, they are aiming to please the wrong crowd. They're pleasing the wrong crowd. And because they're pleasing the wrong crowd, they are destroying or attempting to dismantle this thing that we call the culture. Now looking at the pillars. Me being a dancer myself.
There it is.
People out there say breakdancing is damn near out of here, knowing that stance element exists, Red Bull Dance Your Style exists, and a plethora and multitude of dance events around the world. The thing about dance that is so amazing is that even though you don't hear about it a lot here, and there's a reason for that, it is represented all across the world. That's hip hop. That's a pillar of hip hop, represented in all these different areas, all the way down to India. They got break dancers in India. Come on, bruh. What are we talking about? The reason why we never heard about dance this whole time is because they were attempting to make it international, and they clearly successfully done that. From every dance style birthed under breakdancing, when you want to look at popping, when you want to look at house, when you want to look at crump, when you want to look at locking, these traditional street dance styles were all birthed under the hub of culture. The funny thing about dance is that it never went anywhere. They just took the camera away from the show and tried to divert it over to TikTok. Funny enough, TikTokers are dancing. That's great. The initial thought is that that's cool for dance. Dancers come to realize that TikTok is killing dance. TikTok's making dance lame. TikTok's making dance look cringe. Choreographers can put together the greatest set, and some chick doing the renegade is going to get way more likes than somebody that spent their hard-earned time and energy into making a set. That is beautiful. They took the show away from the show to create their own show, to commercialize this thing. Every pillar has been successfully commercialized. All Jay-Z's doing is applauding that. All J. Cole is attempting to do, failed by the way, is to follow Jay-Z's lead in this. If you look at every
he looks
other
up
pillar,
to Jay-Z.
well, look at his dreads.
Yeah. Oh man.
Look at all the other pillars now. Look at MCing. Look what they did to rap. before the battle. Look how rap was losing them money. At that time, it was down like what, 40%, and they were struggling. What Kendrick did was bless hip hop, was bless rap with a battle, because it hasn't been a battle in years. So when he said he did that for the culture, when he sat down with Nadeska, he did that to save it. Like, yo, let's bring some life back in it, because how are we going about making all this trash music? Everyone's all peaceful and friendly, knowing that hip hop is competition. Look at every pillar in hip hop. Look at the 4 pillars, just to keep it simple. Each pillar has points of competition in it, regardless if it's MCing, DJing, or graffiti. There's competitions in it, including breakdancing, of course. All 4 of them have competition in it. That each pillar that has competition, that multiplies the excitement, the engagement for it. Look what battling did. Look what the battle with Drake and Kendrick did. That saved hip hop. That brought eyes back in it. When you hear about the stories, when the teachers are out there and they're sitting there talking about how their students are looking up bars on the internet to understand it, then you have grown people on Twitter denouncing and trying to say these bars are weak.
Then break it down.
And they're not even from here.
It's
And they're
not
not
even
even
You got grown people out here saying, "Oh no, that shit was garbage, bro." That wasn't it. I don't understand what Kendrick's trying to say, bro. This guy always saying a whole bunch of bro. Just if the kids can break it down, God damn it, why can't you do it? But that just goes back to my point with the commercialization of hip hop. The commercialization of hip hop have birthed individuals that don't care for the traditional side. And it's not that you gotta care, but having that side to rap makes rap exciting. Look at the clubs. For someone that works security, look at club culture right now. People will literally stand on sofas with their dirty shoes, sit there trying to flex a bottle they bought for some girls to come and pull them up because they're not man enough to go out there and say anything. But that says a lot by itself.
Yeah, it does.
I look at the clubs like Twitter. It's a wasteland and it's boring. Man, you listen, I respect Jay-Z. There's still music that I love from him to this day. But he is the wrong individual to speak up. And besides, all of that was rollout for his album.
That is a fact.
I don't even respect Jay-Z.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew the sniper shot was coming. I knew he had him lined up this whole time. I felt it brewing. I was like, pause. But no, I was like, look.
Yeah, I was like, NK wants to say something. He's sitting there like,
bad. Like,
I don't even respect Jay-Z. Here, look.
I get it.
Here's why. Because, like, can Jay-Z rap? Yes. Jay-Z is a good rapper. He's able to rap well. He's good at what he does musically at times. However, my issue with Jay-Z is that even when it comes to like how he approached his music career, it was very much like he basically made himself like the prototype for what a rapper is supposed to do to make money in the industry, to make a lot of money in the industry. So I think a lot of rappers on the come up were like, well, who's the rich? Because again, I got to use it. You know, we live in a capitalist world, right, where money is a very important thing.
There go that word.
So a lot of rappers coming up naturally, you're like, well, who's the top guy, right? Who's making the most money? This is how a lot of MCs see it, and it's not their fault a lot of the time, especially if you're coming from the hood. You're trying to get out of your situation, trying to make your situation better, et cetera, et cetera. So because of that, naturally, right? You're gonna look, okay, who's the top guy, right? So then what hip hop became to a certain degree, especially in the 2000s, once he started to really become quote unquote that guy, was that hip hop formed more and more clearly into this pyramid where everybody is like basically chasing this this dream to be the billionaire, right? Well, Jay-Z made it. I can do it too, right? Unfortunately, and you know, this is me talking to a lot of rappers out there. Statistically speaking, there are only a very few select amount of people that are going to be allowed to even be in that position and in that role. Statistically speaking, how many rappers are billionaires? Jay-Z, Kanye at one point was, no longer. Who
No, he
No
else?
back.
longer.
Is he a billionaire now still?
From the last time I heard, he back in the club.
And even if he is, right? That's 2 out of how many rappers?
It
Right?
takes
Millions.
a let's just say that
Millions.
it takes a
So
lot.
right, it's so
Not
like
many.
so he's basically created, and he, because I mean, even around that time in the 2000s, like I remember an interview he did where he's sitting down on a couch with Warren Buffett, like literally like one of the richest dudes like on planet Earth. His label is literally called Rockefeller, named after Rockefeller, one of the most like messed up billionaires in the history of the world. You know what I mean? So it's
Facts.
like this is the image he's painted, right, for himself, and not only for himself but for others as well, for others in the industry that aren't, you know, educated enough to understand why this mentality is very toxic for the culture. And I think what we're seeing with this interview and what we've seen with previous interviews, and not even just interviews but just like how he moves, is that this is a very toxic approach when it comes to hip hop and hip hop culture. It's a very like individualistic approach where it's like, I just have to make the most amount of money as possible, exploit whoever I need to exploit to get to where I need to get to, and that's it. Diddy had a similar approach, but he's not an artist, so that looks different in a different way, right? He was just a business guy who wished he could be an artist, right? Shockingly, these two guys were friends. Shockingly, is that surprising to anybody? No, right? So if you can be friends with that person, what is that? You know what I mean? Like it must say something about you. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's why for me and Jay, I'm like, I don't respect him as a person. One of my favorite rap songs ever is Dead Presidents 2. But that doesn't mean I have to respect him as a person. You know what I mean? Like I like some songs he's done in the past because he has some talent, but as a person, honestly, I have zero respect for him because of what he represents for the world that we live in, which is basically like being the poster boy for the kind of white capitalistic industry to basically use him as this like poster boy of quote unquote success for what black men are supposed to be, when that image is inherently toxic and bad in the way that he's presenting it. So that's my position on that.
All right. So the idea of becoming rich, famous, using rap, using hip hop in order to elevate yourself and manipulate and do all that, it started around the Run DMC era. It was when sorry if y'all hear my little lady, she's singing. But uh she's getting to it. But it started around the Run DMC era when rock and roll was mixed in with some hip hop, with some rappers, and they I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to infer who they are after I get a little bit further. They had seen that, hey, this can be commercialized, this can be sold, this can be bought. How can it be bought? Well, let's make some deals. Let's make some ways that they can get rich, but we get richer. Hey, what did I say? So y'all know it happens at least once.
Every time.
Yo, Father of the Year, bro. I swear, man.
Half the job of being Moo Moo. Yeah, she's over there getting to it, Josh. Yeah, no, like so they seen the idea, they seen the goalpost, and Jay-Z was the first one to reach that goal. So it's like that dream of being the biggest rapper, the biggest artist, all of that. It started in the mid '80s, if you want to believe it or not. but Jay-Z has been the only one successful enough. I would say Nas too, because he just got a $5 billion casino deal, and Smith Plus. Listen, I got yells. No one else will. So, yeah, no, it's always been a dream to be the one that makes the most money, to be the king of this thing called hip hop. Because at the end of the day, being the king of hip hop, what does that mean? You are the end all be all. It ends with you, kind of thing, and you got to be battle tested. You got to be respected enough. You got to have enough credentials. All of the good things when it comes down to hip hop. You got to master the 4 elements. You become the avatar. And people look for you and all that. So when we were looking for Jay to speak, these are just things that we weren't going to be able to agree with wholeheartedly, because he honestly isn't the best representation of what a hip hop artist is. He's stolen lyrics before. He has done some grimy things to climb and claw his way to the top. But then we look at people like Nas, like Kendrick. Look at KRS-One. Look at Slick Rick. Look at Rakim before him. Look at all the people that were the greatest of all time at their time. And did they do any of these things? Possibly. But did their character show it? No. Your character validates your music validates your character. And with Jay, I mean, he even says it in The Evils. And I'm pretty sure Reasonable Doubt is going to be touched on a lot, because that was his breakout album. But in The Evils, he denounces his faith to Christianity. So him coming here and speaking anything positive or negative towards the culture, it's already been discredited years ago. Like, I appreciate Jay for showing the ambition and the hustle. However, I'm going to agree with NK. I can't respect him as a person because of his morality, his character, and how he's moved in the past couple of years. Of course, it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of BS to go through to be where he's at. But even dealing with Diddy, as friendly or not friendly as they were, it's still kind of sus being that close to somebody, and it's apparent, it's obvious that they were best bros. So I'm not too sure where to feel about Jay, but all I know is that what he said, it can't be validated by the culture, because we all know battle is what takes you to the top in the eyes of the public. And then when it comes down to the eyes of the underground, who are you? And why are you even here? So Jay-Z failed at, I'll say, 2 of those pillars. And he's at where he's at now because he's just a smart businessman. And we can't knock him for that. But at the end of the day, I can't sit here. I can't sit here and say what Jay says is law. No, it's not. If Nas was to come out and say that yesterday, I would have been even more disappointed, like, as a Nas fan. And the only reason as to why I'm disappointed with Nas, and the only reason why I'm disappointed with Nas right now was because we need you to say something in regards to all this as well. But knowing him, it ain't his business, it ain't his lane, and he ain't gonna do nothing about it. And which makes me respect him more than Jay. But I would love to hear something from him instead of Jay any day.
Right.
Yeah, but for Nas, man, he needs media training, bro.
That man is the streets. I don't know. I don't know how to get him out of there. But that man is the streets.
You can't get him out of there.
The last interview with Complex when he sat down with Jordan, bro, it was like, I'm sitting there trying to watch. I'm just like, bro, you not even trying to make this interesting, bro. Like, I don't know if I want to hear anything from him, man. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
He'd be like, nah, I'm not really feeling that. Turn that music down, damn it. Nah, he's fine.
Hey, but
You can turn it down just two notches.
let me piggyback off of what you were saying, Hammer, because you said something that I was actually going to point out. There are a lot of parallels between the battle that happened 2 years ago and the battle between Jay-Z and Nas. If you take a look at it, Jay-Z and Nas, it's Drake and Kendrick. Kendrick is Nas in a sense. And it's funny because Nas is actually one of Kendrick's favorite rappers. And if you take a look at who Drake respects before all the shit happened with Jay-Z, he respects Jay-Z. Who he modeled, he people basically model themselves after who they respect. You're gonna model your career and you're gonna want to be like your favorite artist. If your favorite artist is an MC, that's what the fuck you're gonna be. If your favorite artist is, well, of course you're gonna try to evolve and try to be better than, right? But if you take a look at the parallels between Drake and Jay-Z, they, like NK said, because I'm also going to parallel stuff that he said, Jay-Z took from other people. Jay-Z has undermined a whole bunch of other people. Drake, no, I'm just playing. Drake. So Drake has essentially modeled his whole entire career doing the same shit that Jay-Z has done. How do you think he climbed up so high? How do you think he got to the place that he was? By using people. That's how he got there, allegedly, of course. I can't say that until like it's actual fact. You know, this YouTube shit. If it was Twitter, if it was Twitch, it'd be different. But I'm just saying, like, you basically look at everything, and it's just right in our face. It is right there in our face. And I agree with CNI Plus. Drake didn't also come up in bad areas. Or that's not what he said. Hold on. I don't agree as much as others, but I don't. Okay. No. Jay-Z and Drake have a lot of parallels, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed. Yeah.
Look, when it comes to Jay, where he's at right now is far removed from hip hop. That's simply all it is. Where he's at now is more focused on his pockets than the actual betterment of the culture. Jay-Z has the power and ability, allegedly, supposedly, to manipulate hip hop. That's what he thinks. I'm Jay-Z. I say what I want, damn near pretty much what he said. Cool. But you're still a student under this hub, under this umbrella. This umbrella is holding you down, still technically based on your catalog. But the individual holding the umbrella has been corrupted. Plain and simple. So, looking at that interview, good interview, something to shake up the rap news sector. But when you pick apart different parts of the interview and now you're analyzing it and comparing it to the culture today, or the supposed culture they're trying to turn the culture into, it doesn't even align anymore. So why do we need your voice knowing that you're not with it no more? And like I said, he's rolling out his album. He's rolling out his tour. Everyone's begging for tickets right now for his tour. Doing that interview is only going to drive the sales because Jay-Z's back and he's talking. The same thing what people are saying when Like That dropped. Kendrick's back and he's talking.
Right.
That's it. That's all I see it as. So now, when you look at Jermaine,
Oh Lord, here we go.
this man is just, when you have, back in the day when we had the N64 controller, and you got like 4 people with you and y'all playing Mario Kart, right? So you got player 1, player 2, player 3, and player 4. So cool. You have 3 of your friends. Oh, no. You got 2 of your friends over and you got yourself. And you need a 4th person to play so you can have a 4-man like battle in a race on Mario Kart. And you can't find nobody else. So you got to go get your little brother to come and jump in. But he can't play. So there's only one thing you can do in this situation.
Play against the computer?
No. We go unplug his controller. And the 3 of us are gonna play. That's J. Cole right now. All right. J. Cole is so disconnected from all of this shit.
Right.
I'm looking at dude, I'm like, you didn't need to do this. You just owe Cameron.
That man been trying to find.
God, literally.
God,
just pay the man.
Damn. I learned nothing from the 3 hours of you speaking between Deska and Cameron. You are so conflicted that the word confliction, when you Google it, your name pop up. That's a joke, by the way, but my point still stands.
It's a long time. He's in a long time battle with his mind, not with himself. That's great. With his mind. No, with his mind.
Him too.
I was gonna say his tears, him and his wife's tears. That man is conflicted. That man was losing sleep. That man was over there. He was like, man, look, he said, look, listen, his new name to me will always be J Fold, and the J stands for Judas. Because listen. I've always loved J. Cole's music. I've never had a real deal problem with him, but I do now. After that interview, I do now. Both of them interviews. Because how are you going to tell, first off, how are you going to tell Cameron, you should have hit me up, you should have yelled at me, you should have, no, nigga, you owe him money. You contact him. You do the damn effort.
Exactly.
There's no reason as to why that I should be hitting you up for my money when you know damn well you do. It's been what, 3 years?
You owe me.
It's been what, 3 years since you owe me this bread, and then on top of that, you need to come on to one of my shows? No,
now,
let's go.
In my mind, I was like, but then I was like,
yeah, but how you gonna blame somebody that you owe them money that they should have either contacted you more or they should have just hit you up? Like, no, he says on multiple episodes, oh yeah, I've been hitting them, but I haven't gotten responses, or he's telling me like, hey, look, I'll be there next month, or I'll be there this month, or I'll be there this time, and then you don't show up for 3 years. Like, do you know how much the amount of ducking that is? That's the amount of ducking that lands you in a hospital after getting stomped out. Like, hey. So at the end of the day, it's more so like when it comes down to J Fold, I can't sit here and say that he has my utmost respect, and no way can he ever say I'm the greatest or anything like that. All that tough talk is gone. No, you cannot be doing all that because that is not your lane.
Real quick.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. So I love how we're on the right topic right now, because remember how I said this was an open table and you never know who you gonna see.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Lightwalker in here.
Shout out.
Light Walkers or
Bro.
so.
Perfect timing, bro. Perfect timing.
Hey, what's good?
He
Shout out
popped
to
up. He
everybody
popped up like
on
the
the stream.
boogeyman. Like
You know?
Hey, listen. I pulled up the stream before I came on. Sorry, I was on the way home, running late. I heard J. Cole and I heard slander. I said, all right, it's time. It's time. Shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out everybody on the stream. I have a question.
was good.
Real quick.
He's over here.
Why is nobody asking why it only took J. Cole 7 minutes, supposedly, to write that diss song? Then he's gonna retract it and then go on this press run 2 years later. You know what I'm saying? Like that might actually be the best diss of all time because it exposed his hand too. It took you 7 minutes to say all that shit off the top of your head about me. That's crazy. Then he wants to come. Oh nah, I love Kendrick. I love the Grammys, but Drake, man, they did him dirty. Like I want you to fail. I want you to fail. What are we talking about, bro?
Here, hold on. I gotta get these kids situated. One sec.
Right.
Hey, do what you gotta do. We gonna hold down this J. Cole
You're
talk.
good. You're good.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This might make me not buy the tickets I was gonna buy to his show. I ain't gonna cap.
Damn. So you were gonna buy
sorry.
tickets? Oh,
It's real. That's real though. That's real.
Listen,
Yo, I'm dead.
Hey, just save your money, man. Just save it.
You wanna know what it is too? Cause like I give Cole his credit. You know what I'm saying? Like as a Cole fan before, like a proper Cole fan.
Yeah.
This whole 2 years for him has been like shell shock for me because it's like I knew you were like cross, you were bod mind, right? But I didn't know it was like this. And what makes it worse is that he actually thinks he's like holier than thou, which is crazy.
He really does. He really does.
He actually thinks he's solid by not picking a side. And I said in my stream I did a few days ago, it's not about picking a side. Because I know Cole fans are like, you want him to pick a side? No. I'd rather him pick himself, which he's incapable of doing because he wants to prop up his fellow light skin. Sorry to the light skin. And what he thinks is good PR for the light skin brigade, and it's bad. It's not. What are we talking about? What's going on? What's going on? I feel like I'm being gaslit. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I in the Twilight Zone or what? Like, I feel like people who defend J. Cole now are the ones you got to really watch for. They're the ones you really got to watch for.
Yeah.
It's one thing to say, like, I see where Cole's coming from, but it's another thing to say, oh, you have no right to feel a way about the way he's moving. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about?
They try to dictate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to dictate and also, you know, trying to control the narrative. He's trying to get ahead of it.
Light skin manipulation in 4K.
Jesus God.
That's twice, bro. Man. I don't know how much I could take, bro.
Real quick though. Let's not forget that time when J. Cole brought out Drake and Drake immediately performed back to back. And you see J. Cole prancing around, trying to be the hype man in the background to this Drake moment on your own show. So for you to come back on this platform talking about, like they did my man's dirty, like they did.
Come on, dog.
Yo, bro. What about Meek Mill, gang? Huh? What about Meek Mill? What's going on over there?
Point.
He's dark skinned, that's why.
He's dark skinned.
I'm sorry.
Yo, we're not making this a coloristic topic.
I'm sorry, bro.
You know what, man? I'm done.
You had to, bro.
Man,
The itch.
you know what? I'm done.
Hey, bro, we all melanated, all right?
Yes, we are. These two do not represent all.
He's playing.
In the
You know
world.
what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
Of course, on the melanin chart, like, you know, there's a lower percentage and a higher percentage, but we're all melanated. All right.
Yes.
That's
Not
it.
all of us are culture, clearly. That's
But let's not
We're
forget,
melanated and
yo,
we're melatoninated.
melatonin. Yo, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? But let's continue now, because let's not forget, out of the three, who shot first? J. Cole.
J. Cole?
So what the hell are you talking about with Cameron?
Exactly.
I felt pressured by the culture. It's like,
Like, you out here trying to say, oh, I just like it was so so nasty. Yo,
In my
bro.
mind, I was like,
Yo, bro, you started this.
yep.
You
Started
know,
in first person shooter.
y'all remember that the Degrassi scene when Drake got shot and the kid was he was holding that's J. Cole, bro. Out here thinking like I don't know if I should shoot, and then proceeds to shoot and shoot a blank.
That's a wonderful analogy.
Damn.
And I might even take it a step further. Sorry, this is not a light skin thing. I'm just gonna say it's
okay.
the Malcolm X quote. Well, I'm not gonna say it word for word. But you ever heard that quote about Malcolm X where he said, "You can't stick a knife in my back and then remove it like 1 inch and say that's progress." He was using that, right? I feel like Cole's that type of guy. He'll stab you. And he's like, yo, but we good, bro. We good,
nah, but he does that. He does that periodically. He did that with Lil Pump.
The pattern.
He did that with damn. There were so many that he did that with.
He did that with No Name.
Kodak Black.
I don't know if he had beef with No Name. He did that.
Yep.
He did it with Kodak Black too.
Yep.
Where he talked shit about Kodak Black and then he proceeds to take him out to lunch. What kind of shit is this?
Oh, he did it with Lil Yachty.
What kind of shit is this?
Lil Yachty and them.
He did it with Yachty too.
21. Didn't he call out 21 too, or no?
I think he might have.
Or he just.
But I think that was wrapped up with the Yachty stuff with the 21s because he was talking about that generation, like that double XL generation.
Lil somebody.
Drake gonna give him a watch, and he's like, "Yeah, it's us too." Spider-Man. Like, get the on my face, bro. I'm going to Keem, fam. I'm going to Keem.
You don't know what you've done for me. You don't know what Drake has done for me. What has he done, bro? Say it.
So check this out. So check this out real quick. When it comes to the big three, all right, because we've definitely had this conversation over a multitude of years. When it comes to the big three, Drake is there because of his popularity. Kendrick is there because of his popularity and skill set.
Yes. Yes.
J. Cole is only there because we couldn't find another third.
J. Cole is only there because of Drake.
No. Listen. We're trying to play. Listen, we're trying to play threes right now, and we ain't got nobody left but this nigga. He's sometimes good and sometimes shit. And you know what? You might as well come here. You might as well come here, come play with us because we trying to win.
He's like the last pick.
J. Cole is the third man off the bench in three. All right.
Kind of crazy, bro.
Oh my god! It's like a participation medal.
I got another quote, bro. Another quote to add to this. I think this is a Desmond Tutu quote. It's if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor.
Thank you.
I think that actually sums up a lot of what Cole is trying to do right now, where it's like he is picking a side. Like concretely speaking, him trying to be like, oh well, how they did my man's, blah blah blah. You've picked a side, because how come he's not saying that about Kendrick as much? He's not really emphasized, because so he's and in doing that, he's admitting that Kendrick won. That's one thing, and then secondly, in doing that, he's basically saying, oh, like, you know, this is the side that I care about the most right now. That's what it is, if we're being honest, because the slander was going both ways. It's a beef, you know what I mean? Even when it was Nas J that we talked about earlier. And that's the other thing. Like, I'm going to connect this back to that and then bring it back. I'm going to make sure not to stay back there. But back then, even, because one thing Jay-Z said that pissed me off was, oh, you know, now because of social media, blah 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 blah, all this shit. I'm like, nigga, back that there are niggas today who chose Nas's side that hate Jay-Z still because of the shit that happened back then. You can find it anywhere, bro. Go on a random YouTube, go on the Ether, the Ether YouTube video right now and find it. And just read the comment, the newest comment, list it by the newest comments, and tell me you're not gonna find people who were old heads from back then talking about, oh, fuck Jay-Z, he's this, he's that. Yeah, because that's how they felt back then too. Social media just was the platform in the modern age for communicating that. And yes, it gets toxic in certain ways because of the nature of social media. However, that's always existed.
Yep.
But to bring it back to now, like in reality, like that's what Cole is doing. Like he's picked a side, right? He's saying this is the side that, you know, I'm really supporting. And that's really the side that he's worked with the most musically in the past however many years, right? With the first person shooter, all of that stuff like that we already know about. So he's picked a side. He's just too cowardly to admit it. That's all. That's all we're seeing. So what he's doing instead is trying to take this third position of like what Lightwalker was saying, holier than thou, but it's false. It's a facade. It's not real, because concretely you're telling me exactly what you think, but you're just too yellow bellied to admit it to me. That's all that's happening.
Yellow belly. Let me tell you something.
Hey yo.
Back in the day,
Hey yo.
listen, real quick. Back in the day, we had MLK. Today we got NLK. You hear me?
I'm dead. I am dead.
Oh man. You know,
I have a question.
I was gonna put.
Oh, say what you're gonna say. Say what you're gonna say.
Huh? Oh, I was gonna put what I put in the chat. I was gonna say what I put in the chat. No, but it's the truth. J. Cole is the guy that goes into war, shoots himself in the foot to get out of it. It is so true. It is so true. But J. Cole did it this way. He shot somebody first, and then he shot himself.
That's worse. That's worse.
That is worse. That is 100% worse.
That's worse. I've never even heard of that before.
You never heard of that, man? Come on, bro. I've heard these stories before.
But not like in this, not in this
type of context.
Not like
No.
Either that, or he shot through his hand, so that way he can get injured at the same time that he's shooting somebody else. That way it doesn't hurt the other person. He went like this to silence it.
Nobody saw that. I didn't do it.
No,
that's exactly what he did.
But don't hold me accountable for what I did. I did it.
It wasn't me.
Here's the one thing I want to ask you guys though. Did this man not say in this interview that his wife and Whitney are good friends? So you had nothing to say about Drake slandering Whitney up and down throughout this entire beef. Not even.
And that's why I said he picked a side.
You see what I'm saying? You said, "Oh, my wife."
He definitely picked a side.
Was crying, right? You don't think Whitney was crying or having some type of emotional issues because she's being slandered? She never dissed Drake. But hold on. Oh, what did the man say with so much vitriol in his chest? I hope that you fail. I hope that you. I said, wow, this man is actually a demon. This shit is crazy. Right. So what about Whitney?
Right? He doesn't care.
Shit.
Thank you.
And to Quicky's point, he made a point earlier. He said that J. Cole can rap. Look, I'm not taking anything away from his pen. The dude can write. He can write. Right now we're talking about his character. We're talking about who this guy is as a person. We're dissecting what he said and why he apologized.
Punk bitch.
That's what we're talking about.
I am dead.
Because how are you going to apologize? How are you going to apologize for shooting at somebody? Turn around 2 years later, call somebody punk bitch.
Boy,
no. It was a multitude of people.
Yeah.
Punk bitch. It wasn't just one person. It was a multi. He said 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
You called 8 people punk bitch on one song.
Hey, bro. I'm pretty sure he said it 37 times.
Oh no.
I'm
Oh my
dead.
god.
I'm dead.
It's contradiction.
Oh my god.
It's projection, right?
That's a fact.
He's talking about himself, right?
Yo.
Right.
And Cameron is a whole nother can of worms because
Bro, I was just gonna bring that up. I was just gonna,
Oh my
bro, because I was just gonna say that's exactly how he dealt with the Cameron situation too. Is exactly what we're talking about. Because he literally says in I like this, bro. I was watching this shit. Yo, I'm watching this shit. I'm like, bro, you don't have the right to be mad that he sent that thing to you. Like the what do they call it? The fucking my brain's not working right now. Like the law fucking
subpoenas or whatever they're called.
yeah, subpoena, whatever it was. Like
Mhm.
you don't have the right to be mad, bro. And he's
Nah.
talking about, oh yeah, when I seen it, I felt like blah 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 blah. But it's like, and it's
In
like
my
everything
mind, I
he's
was
saying,
like,
even though Cam is right there, even everything he's saying is still like under his breath. It's
Yeah.
like he's not.
Yeah.
everything in my mind, I was like,
Boom, boom. Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I was
that's what
like-
I'm saying. Like, say it with your chest. Like, say it.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Like,
Like, say it. If that's how you feel,
Oh,
say
shit.
it. Because you
Ha-
can tell
Ham
he's
was
still
back.
salty about it. Oh, what up, Adam?
what's good? What's good?
He's
Hey,
about to go
let me
off, I can tell.
Let me tell you something, bro. Real quick. I don't care for Cameron, bro. That's what I gotta start with first. I don't care for Cameron, dude. Think about it. When he sat there and said, "Nah, dude is my friend," I'm like, you know what? Stay there. Because realistically, when you look at any of the podcasters in the hip hop space, when you look at Cameron, when you look at Joe Budden and his crew, when you look at Bag Fuel with Hennessy and what
Heineken?
dude name is Heineken. Oh yeah, Heineken, not Hennessy. My fault. Let's keep moving forward after that.
But
and
see,
Esso.
here, so Quickie just asked me a question. J Tom, my question to you: who do you put in the third spot then? If you ask me, my bias is Tyler. If you can't put no one in the third spot, how can I knock the talent as a listener? You know what, Quickie? I don't put anybody at 2. You're either at number 1 or that's it. I said that in one of my videos too.
I agree.
You're either at 1 or that's it. I have a top 5. My personal top 5, but I don't consider or have a big 3. That's just something that they made up as like
it's a marketing. It's a marketing tool.
That's
at the end of the
cool.
day.
Yeah, it's a marketing tactic.
It's really
put me in there.
Cole that created that.
We could do one like you just said. Bun what Cole said about Big 3. You just want to be up in there. You're not part of the gang.
Right.
You can't hang.
So, J. Cole has always been the pick me of a lot of artists because, I mean, I haven't been here for the last like 10, 15 minutes because I had to make sure. So, I've had this story. You also said the wrong thing. So, yeah, no, J. Cole has always been the pick me because he's always wanted for that validation. He's like, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm the greatest," or "I'm the best," I'm the smartest kid in school, and they can't prove it. What does that say about them? Says that their ego or there's a lot of insecurity there that they know, but they don't think the crowd knows. Like, we can read between the lines. Like, when you think about it commercially, Drake is number 1. When it comes down to rapping ability, Kendrick had that for years, even on J. Cole beats. What is J. Cole? He's the median. He's the one that interconnects the two. And he never wanted to be in that spot, but he was just inadvertently placed there because of not only his skill level, it was because of him not being solid within himself. He's always had that he's always stood on soft soil to me. Um, when he made a track called "Let Nas Down" after Jay-Z told him to make a hit record, so you're apologizing to your idol.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna log off.
Oh my god.
You're apologizing. I don't want to hear yeah, he already
He apologized
apologized
for
plenty
apologizing.
times. So when this apology came out, I wasn't really surprised because he's never been able to spiritually stand within himself.
That's
and
a fact.
I think that we've all been in a place where we all just been outside of our bodies before and never been, like not completely stars aligned, but this dude has never been aligned at all. Kendrick evolved into it. Drake, he's all over the place, and so is Cole. So I agree with Jay Tom with the whole. There's only number one. There's only number one. There is no big three, but if there was right now, it would be Kendrick is leading the charge. He's at the helm. Number two,
Right.
I can't say either or, so I'm gonna say both. It's gonna be Clips.
Right.
Third, Tyler. Plain and simple. Tyler deserves the love and appreciation because he has withstanded this long and created just as long as Kendrick and all the others. So those three right now are the ones that I'm most excited to hear anything out of because, I mean, when it comes down to Jay-Z, of course we're all going to listen to it. Of course it's going to do numbers. Of course it's going to be another Magna Carta or whatever. But
Magna Carta was a good album. Let's just talk about that.
Yeah, it was a good album. It was a good album.
It was a good album. I hated that.
Of course you did, NK.
But you can't tell me that the masses aren't gonna run to Jay and just be like, hey, look, he's got an album out. Let's hear what he's got to say. Like, he demands the attention strictly because of the legacy, not because of how he is, just who he is in the hip hop space. So J. Cole never had that. So he's never really been. He's only been considered. And let's be real. J. Cole was only considered one of the greatest rappers of all time, mainly because of his features, because he's washing all these other people on their songs.
Right.
It's never within his own music.
No, that's fair. The one thing I wanted to add to what you said is in regards to J. Cole not wanting the spot, right? Of number one. In my honest opinion, I think it's not only the case that J. Cole wants the spot. I think he wants the spot and thinks he deserves the spot, but he's just too bitter to actually claim the spot.
That's not working hard enough.
Make it up.
I think he's too bitter to actually claim. I think he actually thinks I think he really believes himself. I think he thinks he's the best rapper. I think he thinks he's number one. But then when he looks at the other two and how they're moving and doing things in certain ways better than him, especially Kendrick, because with Kendrick, they're more or less in the same quote unquote conscious lane, right? Quote unquote, obviously. I don't necessarily ascribe to that, which is why I put the quote unquote. However, they're kind of grouped together in that, in the sense of like, oh, it's more about knowledge of self and blah, 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 and all that type of stuff. So I think that's why he's more bitter towards Kendrick, because it's a question of, oh, not only is he in my lane, but he's doing a better job of what I'm supposed to be doing in my lane. So that's why I'm kind of going to lean on this side right now in this moment. That's how I see it. So but I genuinely think he does think he's the best and all of those things. But he's just, again, yellow bellied. That's it, man. He's just too
yellow bellied. Yes. Yellow bellied.
Listen, so when it comes to hold on, I gotta say this real quick, because when it comes to them albums, right? See, like I said, J. Cole's not working hard enough, bruh. I'm sorry, it doesn't show. Like throughout his his lifetime in rap, it doesn't show.
He's too safe.
Say what?
He's too safe. Like,
yeah, way too safe. Looking at Drake and looking at Kendrick. Kendrick first. Kendrick dropped GNX on a random Friday with no promo and sold over 300,000 units.
Right before Thanksgiving, too.
Wake it up.
Right before Thanksgiving. And that album held down, suppressing Mariah Carey's traditional Christmas song, mind you. Near impossible to do. Okay? But looking at that, what Kendrick has built up, made it that way. Looking at Drake controls the public perception, regardless if he's using PR campaigns or not. But Drake is that dude that controls the public perception when it comes to the album. Looking at the Iceman rollout, for God's sake, drop that damn album, Nick. But looking out,
Nah. You know what? Just don't drop it at all and stop talking about it.
We know it's coming out.
That album melted.
How about he retires?
That album melted already.
We know the album's coming out, bro. That's the dark reality with this.
It's coming out.
Yeah, that's the dark side of this. But that album's coming out. But notice how they're manipulating the social media to excite people with it. The constant, it could be dropping this week. Everybody at this point, a lot of people are waiting. So when it comes to their rollout strategy and rollout plan, they're using social media. J. Cole did what he could. He had the trailer, 2 trailers. He dropped the song. The album came out. 24-pack of mid.
Damn.
Like
30, 60-pack of mid.
Oh, Lord.
But the man went on a road trip with a bunch of CDs, talking about he gonna sell them out the trunk, and then he got his sales that way. But look how hard he had to work for that. Look what Drake is doing, and then Kendrick's right there just existing. Like
that dude is just chilling.
He's kick up. Like just looking at the 3 and how they move, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, J. Cole is busting his ass trying to make this music cross the world, and you have him and him they're like, hey, bro, we just gonna do this and we're gonna call it a day. Like I said, J. Cole is the brother with the unplugged controller trying to fight in Smash Brothers. You getting your ass?
Whoa. Hey,
whoa now. Whoa. Wait a minute. There are children here.
Flex. Where's the pause?
Oh, shoot. That's
no
a pause.
pause.
Don't let him get you, Flex. Don't let him get you.
Listen,
games right now, bro.
I'll tell you something my pops told me. Kings don't ever have to yell that they're a king. Right. They only shine their crown.
Your dad is a wise man.
Wake it up.
Right? Shoot, I just try to remember everything that this man taught me. So, and it's a lot.
Right. Nah, you know what I think.
Go ahead.
You know what I think Cole's doing? So I think Cole's trying to. I think Cole is trying to get Drake back in the number 1 spot, so that way he could come and take it.
No.
I don't think he's that smart, to be honest.
No. And see, that's the thing. He plays like he's not. But if you pay attention, listen, hold on. Hold on. Flex knows what I'm talking about. Flex knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
What if, think about this. Why do you think he's promoting Iceman for Drake? Why do you think he said, I can't wait to hear Iceman and I hope that it's good? Why else would he say that?
Well, I think
he's trying to get him back up. He's trying to get Drake to get that last number 1 that he needs to ride off in the sunset. And how is Drake gonna ride off into the sunset? By getting another L by J. Cole.
Nah, I don't think.
Nah, yeah, wait. Before anybody say anything, you know what? J Tom? J Tom, you might be on to something, gang. You might be on
Dude,
to something, bro.
I was listening to NK talk, and I was like, "Yo, what
Yeah,
if?
that's right. That's
What
right,
if
NK. You
this?
inspired this.
Like it's you
But,
did inspire this, NK.
but real quick. Let me just say this real quick. We're forgetting one important moment that happened a couple weeks ago when it comes to J. Cole.
Go ahead.
He went to LA. He went to Marathon Burger. He went and worked the shift flipping burgers.
Man.
And then right after that, who did he link up with? What if? Let me see if I can piggyback off of J. Tom's theory. What if J. Cole is propping up Iceman for Kendrick Lamar to proceed to stomp with both feet all over that project?
Bodies?
Brother, let me tell you something. Bodies is better than the whole Iceman project, and I ain't even hear it yet.
And fall off.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say Drake, drop the album, please. drop it. Just drop. Go ahead, man. I need to see this happen, bro.
Hey, they might have, TDE Punch might have played a couple tracks off the Kendrick album and said, we need that Iceman shit to drop.
He has to drop.
It looks like we might get around too.
I have a conspiracy. If y'all are down,
We're down for conspiracy.
Yeah.
After you go, I want to go after.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say hypothetically, right? J. Cole hit up Kendrick after like that and was like, "Yo, what's all this about?" Kendrick says, "Y'all was talking crazy. Y'all was playing chess. Y'all was playing nothing but 2-man games. But you mentioned me, and then you said out of the three, you feel like Muhammad Ali, and you think that you the greatest and all that. But I'm Tyson out here. I will knock your block off. Not now, but right now." And then he says, "All right, so in order for us to just stay cool, because I'm not trying to really get into it with you, how about we line up Drake?" So they line up Drake by pushing him to drop, by baiting him, using Cole first, saying, "Yo, Kendrick, you're short and your album sucked. I don't know which one." And then
both.
And then he's going to delete it. J. Cole says, "I'm going to delete it," so that means there is no room, no way out of this for Drake unless he go ahead and does his thing. So Kendrick and Drake do their thing. Everything weighs out the way it was. But that allows Cole to still be cool with Kendrick's side, go to LA, be unscathed, be chill, be able to ride the median wave that he always has. And now a part of the same plan is to wait on Drake to go ahead and drop, where both of them gang up on him. Now, there was 2 tracks on the Fall Off that was supposed to be there with Kendrick. Instead of it being on the Fall Off, Kendrick probably said, "Since you wanted to pull that light-skinned ass shit, how about I take those 2 songs and put them on my project, surprise everybody with the fact that me and you were still cool, and that the plan comes into fruition that we just stepped on everything of Iceman, both of us together, just to let him know that you was never on his side, and that you was the mole, you was the one that was feeding me all the information from Drake's camp, because you was with him for an entire year over there singing First Person Shooter on tour." So obviously, if you look at the context of it, Kendrick was rapping with Cole for years on what was supposed to be the Black Friday album. They say they have that album, but it's never going to be released. That's a crime to the world.
That is a crime to the world.
2, J. Cole made a bunch of beats. Kendrick rapped on them. Great. You know, these two are close. That's the only reason as to why you're only going to get some little subs from Kendrick towards Cole in certain songs. Whacked Out Murals, Good Flirts. It's plain as day who Kendrick is targeting. But he's only doing it subtly because he knows he don't want to really go at Cole. He knows he could take him and body him, but he respects him enough to be like, "Yo, we still on the plan, right?" And Cole is like, "Oh yeah, yes sir, yes sir. Not after Meet the Grams. I don't need that happening to me. I don't need that happening to me. We watched you murder a person through sound. No, I am good.
You know what?
I'm good.
You don't want that.
So that's just my conspiracy about it, because had it not been, Cole would have been gone by Kendrick a long time ago. Cole would have been gone by Kendrick a long time ago. And not saying that Cole wouldn't be able to defend himself, but not against Kendrick. Not against Kendrick.
Okay. Okay. So I'm hearing these theories, and like I feel like the part where I disagree is like Cole. He's just not that smart, man. Like Cole, he's not that calculated. He's not that
He's
smart.
a manipulator.
I think if he was, nothing that just happened in the past few years would have happened. You know what I mean? If he was more calculated, if he was more calculated, the second he put that track out, the diss, he would have known, okay, even if there's gonna be backlash to this, I'm gonna keep it out. If he was smart, he would have been like, even if people aren't gonna react positively to this, I'm gonna keep it out. Because and to me, that's thinking strategically, right?
I think
Kendrick
that
is thinking strategically throughout the entire thing, right? And we saw that, right, with the timings of the drops, with even the content. 616 in LA alone should be a testament
amazing,
better than the Fallout.
to how strategic he was. And I just feel like with Cole, there's not even a modicum of that. There's not even a little bit. I think Cole is just he's just riding along in the same way he was riding along the wave, man. Whatever, man. Right, in the same way he was riding along the wave of, like, you know, the big three, and like trying to just attach himself to them. Right, that's his whole thing. He's just trying to attach himself to them. So I feel like he's already thinking on such small terms and in such a like a small-minded kind of way that there's no way he's thinking that strategically, unless somehow Kendrick like put him under his wing, and even that I think is far-fetched, because I genuinely, I mean, they might be cool personally on a one-on-one level or whatever, but I genuinely think that when it comes to rapping, I think Kendrick is very aware of where he stands relatively to someone like Cole. And I in a way, I think he's almost like irrelevant to him in a way. Like, I'm sure he respects his pen. I'm sure he respects him as like a hip hop artist in some regards, or else they probably wouldn't be friends. However, I genuinely think he's insignificant in the grand scheme of things for someone like Kendrick, that it would be a waste of time for Kendrick to even try to do something like that, especially after what he just did. It's already over, like, in terms of like the impact of what needed to happen to Drizzy. So I'm like, so what? So like, you know, the casket is already closed. So what are we doing at this point? You know what I mean? It's like to me, meet the Grams, and then what's it called? Not Like Us. Not Like Us to me was already the victory lap. So it's like, to me, it's like I don't see that level of coordination, because it's not necessary. Mm-hmm. It's not necessary. And Drake's actions himself proved that after the whole beef. And I think I think Cole is genuinely like I'll straight up, I think he's too dumb. Like, I think he's not smart enough to pull that off. Like, he just doesn't have it in him at all. And I think 7 Minute Drill is the perfect testament to that. I think these interviews is a perfect testament to that. Yes. I think everything he's doing is a perfect proof and evidence that he's not thinking that deeply about things, and he's just trying to survive. That's all he's doing.
Maybe he's thinking too deep. That's the problem.
Hey, real quick before anybody else go, listen. One thing I gotta say after NK's point, you could be right. J. Cole might be dumb as bricks, but listen, all of this is ammo for Kendrick, bro.
Oh,
It is.
I can't.
This is ammunition. The same way how Kendrick got 50 Cent out of here with that one little bar on Good Credit, talking about that list. Cameron is a target now. Like, that's all. What more do you want me to say? Even look at the lyrics on Chains and Whips. When you go through Kendrick's his set, when he just went God level flow state on Chains and Whips. When he sat there and talked about, you want the T on me, you effing dickhead. I generate residuals.
Bitch, get off my gen.
That's what I'm, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Yo, this is ammunition for Kendrick. At the end of the day, I love this one point that I made so long ago. One thing about me when it comes to me being a fan of something, I am a fan of an underdog. And literally, I'm looking at Kendrick and the whole run from the beginning of the battle, how everyone's sitting there talking about, oh, the Like That verse was nice, but how long is it going to take for him to drop another song? Everyone, after Push-Ups and Taylor Made come out, everyone's sitting there, oh yeah, it's going to take Kendrick like about 2-3 years to drop a response. You got people talking about it's going to take a decade for him to come out with something new to respond to Drake. Yo, I love an underdog, because when they got their day, that's when I'm going to start talking the most-ish. Because everybody in the industry that had a microphone was not on Kendrick's side.
Dope. What did Gilly say? Oh, that was going on the Cobb, man. Going on the Cobb. To Euphoria?
Crazy.
Euphoria is like the best track out of all of them.
Yeah, Euphoria is the best.
That was the first haymaker.
Gilly cannot read or write, and it looks like he can't listen either. The hell you talking about? Euphoria was a 10-pack of mid.
He need to take his diet. He need to take his diet, rock him looking ass somewhere.
Dogs, plain and simple. What we're seeing right now, everyone's like literally looking at Kendrick like he the bad guy. They're trying to rewrite the story to the beef. I'm sitting back like, the man said he already has an album damn near ready. He's just sitting back like the boogeyman, watching everybody talk. Just sitting there updating his bars so that it can match the current time.
Hold on, question. Real quick. Didn't he say on Mr. Morale that he had 2 years writing block or writer's block? He ain't have that now. He ain't gonna have that now. He had more than enough content.
That pandemic took him out still.
It did. Which I understand because
but that's a true artist. That's a true
real
artist. You know when you would be forcing your material. So you're like, okay, let me actually chill. And then when it's time for to get busy, you get busy.
Facts.
And the last thing I'm gonna say to this is that quote that Anthony put in the chat. That Cole line. She used to be gay until I slayed. Now she's strictly dick. That's proof. That's proof that he's a dumbass. No, imagine after that whole situation happened, if I knew that song was coming out, even if it's, let's say I'm featured on it, I'm gonna be spamming the artist like, yo, don't put this out, bro. Like, don't put this out. Maybe in 3 years or maybe never. I'll give you your bread back, bro. Don't put this out, bro. The fact he let that happen, that tells me everything I need to know.
He's not.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Wagwan Delilah.
Oh Lord!
I was just about to say, looking at the big three. Listen, looking at the big three, and 2 of the 3 putting out some bullshit. It might actually be just Big Me.
It is, yeah.
The thing about it is
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's only number one.
So
that's it.
We got the first 3. These are the first 3 tracks that we heard post beef from all 3. We got Wagwan Delilah, Grippy, and Watch the Party Die.
And a lot of people talk shit about Watch the Party Die, but I
Oh,
would
yeah.
always go into people's comments. Hey, so then what was Grippy? What was Wagwan Delilah?
After that, Wagwan Delilah.
I'm still getting likes from all that shit from back in the
That's
day.
That
hilarious.
was what, 2 years ago, right? Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
still
Right.
getting likes on that comment.
But with
Yeah,
what
man.
NK said about J. Cole not being all the way there, I think J. Cole harps on his connections, his friendships, and like the bond with the industry people that he has connections with a little bit too much, because then his personal professional profile or character is now in jeopardy because he harps on that too much. So yeah, I'm giving it to you.
Right.
I'm giving it to you,
He has
NK,
only
because
child syndrome.
I agree. Yeah, like I get it. You want everybody to be all kumbaya, but we ain't with the kumbaya shit, man.
Just
real
like
life.
Drake.
This is
He
why
has
he choose himself.
only child syndrome.
He can't even choose himself. He's choosing. Oh, I want to go with Drake, but I don't want to say it, bro. I would have more respect for you if you stood on your.
That's
own.
what I'm saying.
You don't have to choose nobody. If he came out and said, "I don't care what Kendrick or Drake think," and
Bro.
he stands on that, I'd have more respect for him if he did that. He
I've
can't
said
even-
this to Flex before.
I think
I've
he
said this
could have
to Flex
watched.
before. If sorry, go ahead, J Tom. Go ahead, J Tom.
Oh, he could have watched Drake, and it would have been Kendrick versus J.
That
Cole.
should have been what happened. Like
Yo,
He could have watched them.
He didn't want to do that.
that
I've
should have
said
been
that.
what
I've
happened.
said that.
But
He was going for.
he should have said what
Yeah,
he
he-
should have done was been like, "Fuck both you niggas." Like this is like that's all he had to
Yeah.
do.
All the man had to
That's
do.
hip hop.
Just tap into hip
That's
hop.
hip-hop.
That's it.
I don't
That's
get
it. Just be hip hop. Fuck you. I'm that nigga.
Bro,
Like,
Yo, you might have been the person that put that in my head when I made that one video. Because, like, when it came to the beef between Kendrick and Drake, and they're going at it with, like, dirt, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick could have been the dude flying above them with bars.
That's what I was saying.
Bars.
Yes.
Throwing bars down like lightning spears.
I'm telling
Bro, you
you.
could have done that, and it would have been the greatest three-way battle ever.
I'm telling you.
I swear to God, it's like literal gods fighting in the sky,
Right.
creating
Right.
thunders and tornadoes and hurricanes.
Right?
Well,
Just
we
like
know what he did.
bars.
I just want to apologize. Kendrick is a great rapper. But in my mind, I just had to.
That's what we got instead, bro. Because
Yeah.
it's like it's simple, bro. Because like at the time, right, the whole argument, not only from him but his fans, is like look at how low, look at these low blows both of them are throwing. Then don't throw the low blows. All he had to do was rap crazy and be like, fuck y'all niggas, I'm the best rapper. And I'm not gonna stoop down to that level. If he did that, that would have been interesting.
Facts.
You said
Well,
it.
hey,
He's admitting- Sorry.
So I'm gonna have to take off. But
Okay.
last thing I want to say. I hope that you guys are enjoying the stream. If you guys like the stream, go ahead, please hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe. We're just 4 or 5 guys having great conversations about this shit. Subscribe to each of our channels. We have our channel names right here. King Hammer does his thing sometimes whenever he's not working. NK is, very, very, I follow him, very, very, very creative person. Lightwalkers is also really good with his shit. And well, hey, you guys are already on Flex Your Mind Network, so just subscribe to Flex. That's all I gotta say. And I'm just a Latino that says I'm just a Latino that says "Ya tú sabes" too much,
Jeez.
But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all
You
go.
that guy too, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. You here for a
I
reason.
know. Yeah, I know.
J. Cole.
Hey, oh yeah. And for J. Cole, man, you got to stop the BS, man. Stop the head assery.
Thank you.
And that is all.
My God.
I'll let y'all go.
Blessings,
My
bro.
God. Salute, man.
Bro, NK, thank you for that. I just want to say, J. Cole has admitted throughout this entire time that he's incapable of engaging without getting
Mhm.
their self.
Mhm.
That's why he's like, I had to back out. I had to back out.
Mhm.
You're capable of rapping against this man that you claim is your man's
Mhm.
out going low. And on top of that, what I'm hearing allegedly is that Cole had some history doing some stuff himself that I think both Kendrick and Drake knew, and he didn't want that out there. I've heard various things. I don't know what's right, but these guys have been touring, traveling, not recently. Well, obviously
Yeah.
Drake and Cole, but when we go back to when they were all friends ish, they were touring and doing their thing back in the day.
Mhm.
God knows what happened, right?
True.
So I mean, it's a tour. You know, shit happens on tour, and they probably remember that. I think out of the two, Kendrick knew what it was, and I think J. Cole knew as well. If he were to diss Drake, that Drake would be capable of coming up with some bullshit like he did with Kendrick Lamar.
So he's soft.
He's soft as hell. And why are you coming up with the same man? Are you fine with the bots? Are you fine with the slandering? Are you fine with the PR campaigns?
Thank
I don't
you.
want to kick Diddy while he's down. Okay, you go over there too.
That part, bro. I even forgot. Yo, I'm gonna throw my headphones. I forgot about the man that. Yo,
You see what I'm saying?
what do you mean?
I'm not buying the tickets, bro. I swear. After the interview, I swear to you, I was gonna go just to hear the off-season Force Hills Drive, some of the earlier shit. Not really for the fall off. Now I'm not going. I swear to you. What do you mean you don't want to kick him while he's down? He was literally kicking Lassie. What are you talking about? Like, this shit is crazy. These guys are out of pocket, bro. They think they're 2-6. They need to be reminded that they're not from the 2-6. That's what it is. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, Cole. I'm sorry. You can rap, but when it comes to be about character, you have none whatsoever.
No, zero.
I'm sorry. And none of your fans can tell us that we're effed up people for feeling or thinking this way. I'm tired of that shit. Oh. Got my face, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, bro. Like I said at the beginning of this, we gonna talk. You know? As far as I see for the past like 2 hours, we talking. All right. So at this point, it's just I'm looking at this, I'm assessing it. I'm trying to see the future of this. That's what I do personally. Cause like, what is y'all goal with doing this? When it comes to your interviews that y'all set up now, what do you expect to get out of this, especially J. Cole? That's the one thing. Are you doing this for your friend Aubrey so that he can finally drop his album?
Yeah.
Well, you already dropped your album, so is this Iceman rollout?
What month are we in? It's almost April, right? He's dropping Iceman.
It's been 2 springs since he's announced that Iceman is coming out, right? Now it's been 2 winters, 2 falls, 2 summers, 2 springs. This is almost the 3rd, right? That shit melted. Okay, it is gone.
Oh my
God. And plus, it was already leaked by a bunch of little kids that somehow got his music. I don't know how people get leaked things from the person that is trying to hold on to it. Like, how do you leak information off of a USB if you didn't already send it out to someone somewhere? If not, someone is just leaking it just for the hell of it. That's number one. Number two, I'm boycotting Iceman because of who Drake is and what he stands for. And number two, for those interviews that I really wanted to say, these are agenda pushers. They want you to believe that hip hop needs to change in order to thrive and excel. However, sticking to the old formula has brought it here. Now, the only thing that diluted it was the turn-up era, where we were doing nothing but bumping Future, bumping all these people that don't know how to formulate a sentence, all these people, all these pill pushers, all these people that's making sure that you're dumb enough to say, F college, I'm going to the club.
Mm.
All these people that saying, "Hey, don't put your head in the book. Put your head in these girls. Put your head in these 12-car garages." I hate 21 for that damn lyric because he says he only has 6 cars
Your head
and
in these
12
girls
garages.
is crazy.
That's crazy.
Listen, listen. That's the agenda that they were pushing. Hey, be dumb so that we can get rich, so that y'all don't get rich. Okay, that turn up era did not do anything for us as a culture, as a collective culture, for years. From the last great album, honestly, to me, was T-Pab before everything fell apart. And they were like here and there's, XXX Temptation. There was a few people that came out and they tried their hand at it. There was Logic, there was Joyner. They kept it a little exciting until one of them was just pressing mental issues and the other one was pressing being half black. So it got died down a lot because the only person that was running the forefront consistently was Drake. And then come to find out, homeboy, it was a bunch of stuff that we didn't need as a culture. We wanted some soul music, something that's going to uplift us and get us through the next day, instead of being looking forward to emptying our wallets and being hung over the next morning. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Yeah.
Them ones. It's okay. We get it.
It's over.
Hey, bro, at this point, we coming up to 2 hours. Might as well give our final thoughts. I hope we can get King Hammer's final thoughts. We're in trouble right now.
If he one of those, he's the cool.
Them thoughts are gone, bro.
Yeah, I want to start with NK with your final thoughts.
Well, shit, man. I think when it comes to, I think in general, what we're seeing, whether it's J. Cole or Jay-Z, is like, it's just like, it's just dishonesty, man. If we're being frank, like, it's just pure dishonesty. Like just admit that you're disconnected. Just admit that you're self-interested and you're doing everything in your power to save face. That's all this is. It's an attempt to save face. It's an attempt to make themselves look like they're something they're not, so that they can sell more records and do whatever they need to do to make more money. Like, I think that's what it boils down to. It's just mental gymnastics. Like, all of this is mental gymnastics. Like, for Jay-Z to be talking about, like even if we just look at hip hop, right? Battle rap it's its own subculture within hip hop as a whole, right? Jay-Z himself, when Loaded Lux battled Calico in 2011, and Loaded Lux had the whole thing about you're a lost nigga and all this type stuff against Calico. Jay-Z himself retweeted that. He tweeted quoting Lux. So even he was tapped into battle rap and understood what was happening. And that's not that long ago, right? Maybe that 12, 13 years, whatever it is. That's not that long ago. So Jay-Z himself was at least in tune with some aspect of battle rap at that time. Diddy himself at that time was dumping money into the URL. That event that I'm even talking about was partially sponsored by Ciroc, which Diddy was a part of. He was in the building for those battles around that time, standing up there with Busta Rhymes and Q-Tip and a bunch of other dudes. They're there.
And they were scouting.
And they're scouting. They're paying attention. They're dropping money on the battles. So obviously, one of them sent it to Jay, or he heard about it himself through social media, whatever. So that's not that long ago. So battle rap was obviously a flourishing thing. Now battle rap is struggling now, but not because battle rap is the problem. It's because hip hop is struggling. And even outside of hip hop, the economy is struggling. Everything is struggling right now. It's like World War III damn near going on. So because of that, to just sit there and be all pompous talking about, oh, I don't think this needs to be part of the culture anymore. Blah blah blah. It's like, bro, you're not even on Earth, bro. You're he's on Mars. You're I think the money has gotten to his head and he's just not even on this planet anymore. He's just in his own world, and it's been like that for a long time. And I've accepted that a long time ago. So that's why for me, I wasn't even disappointed. I was just like, yeah, this is Jay-Z. He's been doing this. He's been on some bullshit. And then with Cole, it's even with Cole, it's I think Cole is just I don't even think he's conflicted. I think he knows what he thinks and he's just too scared to admit it. I think that's all this boils down to is lack of courage, lack of strength, lack of belief in oneself, self-esteem, whatever we want to call it. I think he's just so like, like uncertain of himself that it's like he, even when he says something, he needs to backtrack. He needs to give you, 20 different ways to like, spin your mind around it so that he can mask what the reality is, which is he just has an opinion and he's just gonna put one foot in and keep the other foot out to save face. So I think at the end of the day, this just boils down to dishonesty and people being like too individualistic, wanting to protect themselves over everything, wanting to protect themselves over the culture, to the point that, like what a lot of you have been saying, they're trying to now reshape what the culture is to fit their own selfish goals and aspirations and to protect themselves. And we're not allowing that shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, King Hammer, can we get your final thoughts before you get summoned like a dark magician?
Oh shoot! No, trust me, I wasn't even in trouble. We just had to make sure that the dishwasher was working right.
All right.
But I was like, oh shoot, this is dire. All right, so the way that I see it, J. Cole is cosplaying a hip hop artist.
Mhm.
He has the lyrical talent. He has the ability. The thing is that he's cosplaying as Nas with Jay-Z's mind, and he's battling himself within all that. Um, that's just what I'm seeing. This whole interview honestly had me really questioning where he thinks he is, or when he thinks he is, because this is not the time to be worried about the culture and worried about, no, what are you going through? What is happening with you? You need to fix yourself, because you seem like you're on one side, you're happy for somebody, but you're just as sad as you are for the other, but you're not worried about you. Your whole album sounds like you're conflicted with the idea of even rapping as a whole. So that's number one with J. Cole. I'm hoping that dude gets out of this little funk that he's in. But at the end of the day,
He won't.
he put himself in that rut, and he's going to be in that rut for a long time. He has been in that rut. He's only been trying to prove it to himself that he's not. Um, when it comes to Jay Z, I believe that he held that interview down well, but he also didn't. He's so dejected from the culture. He's been in luxury longer than he's been alive. No, longer than he's been broke.
Mhm.
So he can't really sit there and completely and wholeheartedly connect with today's struggle. All he knows is the Marcy Project struggles, the struggles of being in Brooklyn in the 80s and early 90s. He doesn't know what it's like to be somebody in 2026 trying to make it, and how the world is not so kind, or not as kind as it used to be. I believe that the culture has been sensitized due to the involvement of the court system. I believe that hip hop doesn't belong in courts. I believe that it belongs man to man, woman to woman, or in the street. Be at the block party. There's a house of hip hop. I'm at the spades table. Everybody has a place to be. And I think that Jay Z could have handled that whole battle situation a little bit better, because, and I think that the only reason as to why he said that is because, yeah, he was in I'll say, the third most notorious beef of hip hop times, which is, of course, him and Nas. I believe that had that battle had taken place in nowadays, oh yeah, that would have been the biggest one. It would have been way bigger than Kendrick and Drake with social media, and nobody would have been safe with this whole situation, because social media would have gassed it up crazy. He has a point when it comes down to the day and age time and all that, but it's not about the technologies that we have now. It matters about who is listening, and it's us. We're the consumers here. We're the ones you know, we're the ones that's gravitating to all this, that need this as fuel to go about our personal lives because this is such a big part of our lives. So at the end of the day, the people in the culture are way too sensitive because of the turn up era. There was nothing happening. There was nothing going on. Nobody to guide what true, all of the integral values that we need. And now I think it's just time for reformation. Kendrick, Clips, Tyler are leading that train right now. So hopefully everything goes in a good, smooth direction. We need to get AI hip hop up out of here. And J. Cole and Jay-Z, they are dejected. They're just not in tune with the people right now, because if they were, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
All right, Lightwalker, let's get your final thoughts.
Yeah, because I don't know if I don't think I got to add in on the Jay-Z part. I'll just say, I like Jay-Z, I like his music, one of the first rappers I ever listened to. But to add on to what you guys are saying, and I agree, he definitely is away from the space. He's living a different life now. He's in the upper echelon, right, with the elites, right? So much so that he's in some paperwork that has been released recently, but that's another stream. So the point is that he is very, very far away from the culture. And of course, he took a very big ass whooping from Nas. So that stance isn't surprising. It should also make Drake feel bad because he has to come out and say that now because you got your ass whooped so bad, right? But we know it's not, right? Because he's gonna look at it. Drake is gonna look at it in a sense of everybody's coming to my aid because I'm right. You know what I mean? And that's a whole nother thing. But with Jay-Z, I think honestly, him talking about stan culture and all that, like I agree to an extent, right? Because it's unhealthy. But I see it time and time again with a lot of these old heads, right? A lot of them, especially coming from the East Coast side, they're talking about, oh, back in the day, not even the barbershop discussions, but back in the day, if it was smoke, when after one of these battles would happen, we'd go pull up to a man's crib and this and that, or we come see you when we see you in person, it's smoke right away, we're fighting, it's fighting words. So I said, isn't that stan behavior too? Right? You're saying this like it's any better. And it's not. The fact that you guys were willing to go fight people and kill them over diss songs that had nothing to do with you, right? But now that the internet's here, yes, it's amplified, but it's in a new way. So now it stands. Same thing with J. Cole. But we know J. Cole have no sense. So with Jay-Z, I honestly, we know it's promo. You got your shows coming up. You got an album most likely coming up or some songs, right? That album or the songs that he's putting out better be some heat if he's talking about we need to remove certain aspects away from the culture. So that's how I feel about Jay. With J. Cole, honestly, I don't want to hear another J. Cole interview again on everything. I swear on everything in my life, because I already knew from after, he apologized. I'm like, all his interviews are going to be just all of this. I even tweeted it before the clips dropped. I said, I don't even want to hear this shit. It's going to piss everybody off. And that's exactly what it did. So I don't want to ever hear another J. Cole interview again. And if you somehow come correct, which I think is impossible at this point for him, maybe I'll buy a ticket to your show in Toronto. That's my final thoughts.
All right. Now, my final thoughts. So at this point, when it comes to Jay-Z, like I said, he's not part of this no more. His mind's not in it. What he did in that interview is what any other rapper would do, is utilize a platform to push a product, like the businessman that he is, right? So looking at the little details within the interview, noticing how everything is aligning with social media, well, especially when Lightwalker talk about stan culture, like you're simply just utilizing the consumer base on this application to help drive your sales by saying things that can align with the people and the things that they already say on Twitter. Since Twitter is such a convoluted wasteland filled with individuals that just follow what certain individuals are saying and nobody really has their own thought, which is also why I'm never on Twitter, because it's a great big waste of time for me personally, right? You'll never see me make a tweet. I'll probably retweet something, but I'm retweeting something based on a video topic, or I'm basing it off of something that is an actual fact, which is rare on that social media site. So I do what I do to that. Jay-Z is a billionaire. Let's not forget that he utilizes people as stepping stones to become a billionaire, since he wants to sit there and say he's one of the nicer ones, or he's one of the billionaires that doesn't really use people, which is a lie, because you're sitting there in front of an individual from GQ and you're using him to push your product. But, you know, if you want to lie to people's faces that are not really listening to you, that's cool with me. When it comes to the individuals of the Flex in My Network and the respective panelists here, we see through your BS, especially with people in the chat as well, right? So you can say what you want. As far as I see it, you are far removed from hip hop, even though you're still using hip hop to help push your tour. We know you got a couple tours coming up. Okay, you're at the Roots Barbecue. I believe, if I'm correct, he's headlining that. And then all of this is probably going to line him up to be a Super Bowl candidate. It's for him to have his halftime show. You know, like I've been saying before, that man will never have his opportunity on that stage, but having Jay-Z on the run that he has right now, it's almost like he's mirroring what Kendrick did to help push him on that stage. But like I said, he is a businessman utilizing his business skills, business acumen to put himself in position to get a large sum of revenue. Now, when it comes to J. Cole, fun fact, I actually have a J. Cole figurine. I completely forgot I had this. And, you know, I might as well go ahead and share this little figurine that I have of J. Cole with you guys, which is a disconnected controller. That's simply all.
Yo, you had me, bro.
So you're gonna pull out chorus.
It's simply just a disconnected controller. He is so disconnected from all of hip hop. Just look at the album. Look at the Fall Off album. The Fall Off album is a convoluted mess that doesn't even make sense half the time when you're listening to it. If I'm going to be real, at one point you're this, you're that, you're trying to tell a story, and you're trying to tell a story here and there, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, what are we supposed to follow? What are we supposed to take away? Like, is this for Fayetteville for real, knowing that these stories, it might be placed in Fayetteville, but what does this really say about your city? So, yeah, man, you far removed, and you need to stay there. All right, so it is what it is at this point. Hey, shout out to the panelists, bro. We had fun with this one.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you having us.
Thank
Hey,
you,
man, you already know. Come on, man. Like I said, this is open. This is open to the content creators out here. We got voices. We can speak. I know I got famous earlier, but I'm sure he had something important to do. But regardless, appreciate him stopping by as well. So it's all about.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry about that. My bad, bro. My application.
No, you're good.
But yeah, no, this was definitely fun, guys. I gotta go ahead and get going myself.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, bro. Shout out to the Flex Mob, shout out to the Shadow Mob, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. The names to all the individuals on this panel are right there. Make sure y'all go ahead, tap in with each respective channel. We all doing our own thing around here. And shoot, until next time.
Don't be cool.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Damn, bro, I can't even see the. All right, there we go.